My name is Ellie, and I'm here to bring an update to letting go of attachment. This is a video series that I am being called to speak about. I am a speaker, and right now I am going through the process of letting go of anxious attachment, and I really understand the importance of vulnerability from human to human, to share our experiences, to help each other get through these experiences, and to know that we're not alone. We're not this one person on the earth dealing with this intense situation that we're dealing with. So that is my intention for being here with you. And like I said, if I am following my truth, my guidance, then I actually do not have a choice, because this is what I am being called to do. It is a soul calling to speak, to study, to experience, and then to speak about that. So a lot of things have happened for me over the last couple days since the last video that I've made, and a lot of those things are really, really beautiful, and I'm really grateful for this entire process, as painful and chaotic as it is, as disruptive as it is. I am finally being able to connect to the gratitude, to feeling love. So one of the things that I talked about in the last video is when you let go of anxious attachment. So I'm in the process of letting go. So if I had two hands on anxious attachment, I let go of one, and then I started to experience this dissolving of the anxious attachment, and it was very intense because I had been working up to this. This isn't just something that I decided to do one day and I learned I was anxious attached and I just was like, oh, okay, I'll let it go. And then I had this dissolving of the attachment. No, this has been a long process. I'll talk about that in another video. But I had the two hands holding on to the anxious attachment, to the way that I have learned to love and to experience love from another. And I let go, and that allowed for this rapid dissolving to start occurring within me. And when I did that, I felt like I had no ground to stand on. I was just floating on air, nothing to grasp onto. And the beautiful thing about that, as disorienting as it feels, as that when you have nothing to grasp onto, you have to come back to yourself. So it forces you to come back home to self. And so that is the most beautiful thing that I am experiencing at this time, is a true coming home to self. Now, I've been on a spiritual journey doing inner work for over 5 years now, and I thought that I had already found myself. I consistently will love myself. The words in my head are nice that I say to myself. I spend a lot of time in meditation and mindfulness, reflection, journaling, writing, all of those things. So this is truly a shock to me. So this situation, this happening, has forced me, or allowed me, guided me to come back to myself and really be with myself. And it's amazing. And it's also still hard. There's so much pain happening, and because I haven't fully let go. So right now I would say that I'm fully let go with one hand, and I have like 3 fingers holding on with the other to attachment, to letting go, to actually letting go of the need for another person so that I can be okay. And especially, I'm talking about my husband. If you watched my other channel, I have other channels actually. This is my 4th YouTube channel. If you have seen my previous channel, then you would know that my husband is my heart. He is so important to me. He is the man that I've always wanted to be with. And so having to let go of him is really, really hard for me. And so that's that 3 fingers that are holding on. I don't want to let go of the way things were. I want to go back, and I can't go back. We can't go back, because if I go back, I'm abandoning myself. And I have learned that I have been feeling abandoned my whole life by other people, even though I'm typically most usually the person who will end the relationship, whether that is a romantic or a friendship relationship. I'm still feeling abandoned, and in fact I end that relationship because I feel abandoned in other ways besides them leaving. I'm abandoned because they can't really see me, they can't really hear me, they can't really actually be present with me and love me through their own emotions, whatever emotions those are, anger or frustration or disappointment. And so what I'm learning is that why this is happening to me is because I have been continuously abandoning myself. And that is exactly what has been playing out in my relationship now, currently with my husband. So I'm not going to get into too much details because I want to honor my husband. So I'm just going to be speaking about my parts. And sometimes that will overlay and give way to from one thing to the other, but I'm going to do the best I can. So I have an anxious attachment that I'm in the process of letting go of. And in my relationship, I grab on to the love from my husband because I need it to live. So when my husband is loving me and everything is great, I am on top of the world. I feel like I can move mountains. But as soon as he takes it away, as soon as he is so emotional that he can't be present with me, he can't be pouring love into me, I start to die. I start to panic. I start to feel incredible pain. And because of the energy from my husband, his type of personality, and my wounds of being unsafe, very unsafe in all of my relationships. Again, I need to be safe for myself, right? So because of this dynamic, I am aware now that what I'm doing when I'm with my husband, first of all, as I feel into my body, my nervous system just activates and I don't feel safe. And so what I wind up doing is something that a lot of people with anxious attachment do, and I start to scan for his behavior and I try to modify my behavior to please him so that he won't get upset, so that it won't offend him, etc., etc. So I'm using all of my energy, though, is going externally out to him to scan his energy, to figure out how I can modify my own behavior to calm his energy down or to please him so that I can receive love. And in the process of doing this, I completely lose myself. And in fact, currently, I do not have the capacity to be in a relationship and to not abandon myself. I keep doing it whenever my husband comes home. My energy, not whenever. So I will say the last couple of days have been really amazing. I've been able to come back to my peace. I've been able to find joy and bliss. So this has been turning on for me. So, and the bliss and the joy and the love that I'm starting to feel now are so much more powerful than I have ever known. Aside from some really incredible mystical experiences I've had, one when I received Christ consciousness, one a few on ayahuasca, or many on ayahuasca. But this is not like something that I have experienced in my regular life, even in deep meditation. The love is just so powerful. The bliss is so powerful. And I have in the last couple of days been getting lost in that bliss and in the love for myself and coming home to myself. And it's really, really beautiful. I'm so grateful for it. So I've been having just so much awareness come in, awareness, like really my eyes are opening, I'm awakening to what actually is. Because another thing that I do and that people do in anxious attachment is that we try to make our external experience what we want it to be. And we want it to be that way so bad that we will deny the things that are happening, deny all the red flags, deny everything. We bury it down and we just say, no, this is okay. I'll just modify myself. I can fix this. I can be better. And so we're actually not living in reality. We're living in this illusion, this place of disillusion, from this place of living and loving and moving from our anxious attachment wound. And so I always talk about what I'm going to do. So here's what I'm doing to keep on doing the work, because like I said, when we are in the process of letting go of anxious attachment, it's not something that we just let go of. Like, people say you grab a pen, you just let it go. It is like that, but it's not like something that you do once and it's done. It's something that we continuously have to work on. So for myself, I have to keep bringing my energy back into me, I'm here with me. We have to continue to let go and to continue to see through the illusion and continue to choose not to abandon ourselves so that we can get something that we think we need to live. So this is an ongoing process for me. If you are letting go of anxious attachment, it will be an ongoing process for you. So it's about coming back home to self, starting to listen to self, be with self, stop abandoning self, and stop holding on to this false belief that if we don't have love from someone else externally, that we are going to die, that we are going to lose our only source of love. And I say that really humbly because I have been someone who has loved source and connected to source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, deeply, really for the majority of my life. I started out in Christianity, and then I had a spiritual awakening, and I evolved into something bigger that was encompassing the whole of everything, the oneness of everything. And I've had this really deep relationship, many hours daily doing spiritual practices. And yet still, because of this anxious attachment, I have actually not yet developed a real relationship with myself or with source, in one that I am surrendered, I am open, I am here with self. So this is the process that I'm on, and it is one that takes deep dedication and devotion, because I can feel the ego part of myself. I can feel little parts of myself that are wanting to grasp back on and just revert right back to my old way of being, my way of just holding on and burying and denying things that I don't want to be there. If I don't look at it, it might go away. And so I can feel that happening, and I have to bring awareness to it and just say, no, that is the path of pain. I choose me. I choose to come back to me, and then bringing my energy back to me, and just continuing to let go. So that is what I've been doing. I have been doing, okay, before I get into what I've been really doing that's really fun, I just want to say, so I decided that I'm moving out. I'm going to be moving out April 15th to my own apartment. This is a big deal. It's a really big deal, and it's really scary. And I have just been deeply resting in my trust, deeply resting in the trust I have for the universe. I do trust so much that I am being guided every step of the way. And the more I listen, and the more I come back to me, and the more I just let go of this anxious attachment, the better things get, the more guidance I get, the more synchronicities I get. And so this is something I know that I have to do. And so I just want to share, before I go into the big work I'm doing for this, I want to share what happens when we really start to listen to ourselves, to the guidance that we're being given all the time. When we start to really feel into our body and honor what we're feeling, honor it instead of denying it, because we don't want it to be there. So last week I was really upset, and I had the awareness that I can't stay here anymore. I can't live here. And my husband is so incredible. He has really taken care of me and my children financially. And so I knew that I'm in a little bit of a spot here. And I had just thought of, it popped into my head, the previous apartment that I had before I met my husband. It was this tiny little apartment, but it was beautiful and safe and affordable. And so I thought, let me just message her. I haven't messaged her in like years, but let me just message her. And I asked her, if that apartment ever opens up, would you just please let me know? I'd love to rent it. And she texts me right back, and she says, Ellie, it's available today. I was just going to list it tomorrow, and I can tell by this synchronicity that it's yours. It's yours. And so this is just one example of things exactly like this that are just happening to me. These beautiful synchronicities, once I start letting go and trusting more deeply than I ever have, and coming to meet myself and honoring myself, not abandoning myself, and just following my North Star. That's what I'm doing right now. This is supposed to be happening. So the more that I do that, the more comes in for me, like the support. It's just this incredible universal support, and there is no way that I can deny just how supported I am, just how guided I am, and it makes it easier to let go of everything that I'm still wanting to hold on to. So the big work that I'm doing right now is I'm working with Kali. So I don't know if you have heard of Kali, but she is a goddess, and she is the destroyer of what needs to be destroyed. She is the revealer of truth. She is a doorway in to coming home to yourself, to releasing attachment. She is the doorway in to coming, if you are a woman, or even if you were a man, because we all have feminine energy, and it's so important right now for all of us, every single one of us on the planet, to connect to our own feminine energy, to really open our heart, to come home to ourselves, so that we can love with the love that is pure and true and kind and does not hurt others when it's not necessary. So Kali is really, really powerful, and she's just another example of support. I had been following this beautiful astrologer. She's called Rewilding with Sabrina Lynn, and I love her. She's a shamanic astrologer, and she's just so beautiful. And I listen to guidance from teachers that I listen to, and during this eclipse time, there's a lot of astrological energy going on, eclipse energy, changing, transformation. And she said, work with Kali. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. And so I started meditating with Kali, doing guided meditations with Kali, and meditating with her, and intentionally calling her in and asking her, yes, destroy what needs to be destroyed in me. Yes, reveal the truth. Show me what I cannot see. I'm ready. I invite you in. I allow you. I receive you. So my intention is very strong to allow Kali to come in into my life and to destroy everything that needs to be destroyed. And it's a very powerful energy to work with. I remember when I first heard of these archetypical energies, I had a lot of resistance to it. I was like, what is this? But I just, because of Sabrina Lynn, I was just like, you know what? I trust other things that she says. Let me just try it. And I cannot believe how powerful working with these energies is. Any archetypical energy, Jesus is one of them, like any Mary Magdalene, Lilith, there's so many. I've also been working with Archangel Michael. He is the protector of your inner light. He's a protector angel, and so I've been calling him in also simultaneously while working with Kali, and it's so beautiful. I will be in deep meditation and I will feel the fire burning up in my body, in my root and sacral chakra, just burning up what no longer serves me, burning up, destroying what needs to be destroyed. And at the same time, I can feel the blue calming light of Archangel Michael just protecting my inner light and guiding me home. And they both are guiding me home, both these energies. I'm being called home to self. It is an honor. It is not easy, but it's really beautiful. And so I'm just going to keep doing the work. I'm going to keep bringing my energy back to myself. It's hard now because I'm still living here with my husband, and like I said, I have a hard time being with me when I'm with my husband, but we've been taking a lot of space, and so I'm just being conscious and aware all the time of my own energy. And when I notice that it's streaming externally outside of myself, I bring it back in. And when I do that, I can find peace, I can find joy, even through the deep pain. So this is so beautiful, and I want to say this as like such an encouraging thing. If you're at the point now where you're just in like deep heartbreak and it's so unbearable that you feel like you just cannot bear it, the more that you let go, and the more that you keep coming home to yourself, to meet yourself, you can feel yourself. It's not about thinking, it's not about the logical mind, it's a feeling of bringing your energy back into your body and being with self. The more you can do this, the more that you have access to joy, even through the pain. The pain doesn't always disappear. Sometimes I have moments where it completely disappears and I'm just in bliss. I'm in bliss, and it's incredible. And I didn't need anything. It's just me alone in a room, and I'm in bliss. And other times I'll feel that joy. I'll feel bliss or joy or peace or love, but I will still be also in the midst of deep pain and heartache. And so it's not this linear line. We don't just check boxes off and then we cross a line. It's a circle. We loop back around, we go back forward, we come back, we go back forward. And it's just all about being aware, about really coming home to self. I can't stress that enough, that this is what I'm learning, that this all the pain that I am experiencing is happening for me to come home to me, to finally be with me, to stop abandoning me. And I am not in a position to be thinking about my future. Right now is day to day. What do I need to do today? What can I become aware of today? What spiritual practices can I do to come home to myself, to connect to peace, to let go? What clarity do I need? So I'm always asking, seeking, being. And this is the work that I'm doing. But there's no place right now for me to think about the future. What is going to happen? No. Now is a time to be comfortable, to be okay, to allow the unknown, and just trust. So right now I'm free falling. I feel in thin air, just trusting and taking it one day at a time. Some days, some moment, one moment to the other moment at a time. But I have to completely let go of any expectations for anything. And it's hard because that's not how I've been being. I've been being someone who has been deeply attached to outcome, deeply attached to having a man love me so that I can feel loved, so that I can finally feel seen, heard and understood, cherished, and so that I can share this incredible love that I know that I have to give, and I know I'm worthy to receive. But it's not time. Today is what I'm dealing with now, and it's all the things I just talked to you about. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm in a deep state of allowing, of accepting what is. So I am here with you. If you're going through this, let me know in the comments. I'm going to leave a couple songs in the comments that have just been really helping me in my journey. And I just want to share them with you to see if they are helpful to you. So if you like this video, go ahead and like and support me by subscribing if you feel called to. And I will keep on connecting with you here. I hope you're doing great. And I'll connect to you soon.